Hey, what's up guys, it's Darkarm Duelist and Antigone doing a Toon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this one for you guys because this deck is an extremely nostalgic deck playing all sorts of classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Boss monsters, but Toon versions of them. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this one. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Toon Blackluster Soldier. This card is one of our main boss monsters of the deck and absolutely crazy. This card cannot be normal summoned or set, it must be special summoned from your hand by attributing Toon monsters from your hand or field whose total level equal 8 or more, which is really easy to do in the deck. This card also has the ability while you control Toon World and your opponent controls no Toon monsters, this card can attack your opponent directly, which a bunch of your Toon monsters actually share that common effect. Also, once per turn, if you control Toon World, you can target a card on the field and banish it, but this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. We then play 3 copies of Toon Dark Magician. Toon Dark Magician is definitely a 3 of in the build, and this card is absolutely amazing, as this card has a really cool ability that once per turn you can discard a Toon card, and then you can apply one of these effects to either special summon a Toon monster from your deck, accept another copy of this card, ignoring its summoning conditions, or add a Toon spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is amazing. We then play 2 copies of Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Red Eyes Toon Dragon is definitely a 2 of in the build to help you special summon a Toon monster directly from your hand to your side of the field, which is amazing to be able to do, especially with a card like Toon Dark Magician in your hand, because then you use your copy of Toon Dark Magician to summon out your copy of your Toon Blackluster Soldier directly from your deck, getting all 3 of our boss monsters out on our side of the field, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 2 copies of Toon Harpy Lady. Toon Harpy Lady is really cool as a 2 of in the deck, because this card is just an amazing card that can actually special summon itself to your side of the field if you control Toon World, which is an amazing ability because this card can also destroy a spell or trap your opponent controls when it does special summon itself, which is absolutely crazy, and it's just such a powerful card to play in the deck. We then play 3 copies of the Black Stone of Legend. The Black Stone of Legend is really cool as a 3 of in the build because this card can actually tribute itself to special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from the deck, instantly special summon out our copy of Red Eyes Toon Dragon to our side of the field by just normal summoning out the Black Stone of Legend. You can tribute this card and then summon out your copy of Red Eyes Toon Dragon, which is an awesome effect to instantly get our Toon monsters on our side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. Fenrir is definitely a 3 of in the build because this card can actually special summon itself to your side of the field if you don't control a monster, and it also has a really cool ability to help you spot remove cards off the field, and it can search an additional copy of itself, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 3 copies of Lava Golem. Lava Golem is really good in the deck because our only other normal summon in this deck is our copy of Black Stone of Legend, so this card is really good to special summon to our opponent's side of the field. Even though it does take up our normal summon, we can special summon this card to our opponent's side of the field and then use cards like Comic Hand to take it back and turn it into a Toon monster, so we can actually attack directly, which is amazing. We then play 3 copies of Shifter. Shifter is really good in this deck because this card can instantly win you games, and this deck doesn't really rely on the graveyard that much outside of Bookmark. So this card is really good overall in the build to basically just send to your graveyard and basically lock down the graveyard where everything is getting banished and instantly win you games against certain matchups. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Terraforming. Terraforming is extremely important in the deck to help us get to our copy of Toon Kingdom, which the entire deck revolves around. We then play 2 copies of Comic Hand. Comic Hand is amazing in the deck as a 2-of, as this card actually lets you equip it to an opponent's monster if you control Toon World and take control of that opponent's monster. And it turns it into a Toon monster so it can attack directly, which is amazing. We then play 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. Pot of Extravagance is really good in the deck, so we really don't worry about the extract too much in this build. So this card is really good in the deck as a 3 of to basically just give us an additional draw 2 in this deck. We then play 3 copies of Toon Table of Contents. Toon Table of Contents is basically the rota for the deck, letting us add any Toon card we want from our deck to our hand, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 3 copies of Toon Bookmark. Toon Bookmark is basically like 3 more copies of Rota in the deck, which is absolutely crazy because this card lets you add a Toon World or a card that specifically lists Toon World in its text from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Bookmark. But if Toon World you control would be destroyed by card effect, you manage to discard in the graveyard instead, which is a pretty cool effect just to give you a little bit of protection for your copy of Toon World. We then play 3 copies of Toon Page Flip. Toon Page Flip is absolutely crazy for the deck, and actually why we play so many high-level Toon monsters in the deck is if you control Toon World, you can reveal 3 Toon monsters with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one of them to special summon, and you ignore its summoning conditions. Also, you shuffle the rest back in the deck, which is an awesome effect to instantly get one of your Toon monsters on your side of the field. And the targets for this is actually Blackluster Soldier, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes that you usually reveal with this card to instantly get them out on your side of the field. One of the 3, which is absolutely crazy to instantly get one of your Toon monsters out on your side of the field by just having Toon World and this card. We then play 3 copies of Toon Kingdom. Toon Kingdom is amazing, and it actually counts as Toon World, which is why I play this card as a 3-of in the build. This card has the ability, while this card is activated, you have to banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down to activate this card. And this card's name becomes Toon World while in the field spell zone, which is a great effect to be able to basically have Toon World in a field spell form. This card also has a really cool ability that your opponent cannot target Toon monsters that you control with card effects, and if a Toon monster you control would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you banish a card from the top of your deck face down for each of those monsters instead, giving you protection for your Toon monsters, which is absolutely amazing. This card is a great field spell and such a powerful card for the deck, and it just helps you out a lot in this build to be able to activate this card and count it as Toon World. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing one, and that's going to be a single copy of Toon Terror. Toon Terror is really good as a 1-of in the deck to basically just use this card, then when a spell or trap card or a monster effect is activated, while you control both a Toon World and a copy of a Toon monster, you negate the activation if you destroy that card, which is really cool that this deck actually has a counter trap to give you more protection and just say no to your opponent's plays. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, keep in mind this is an extravagance deck, so we're going to be playing a lot of 2 and 3-ofs in this extra deck because we really don't need the extra deck all that much in this build. So we're going to start off with 3 copies of Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. This card is actually one of my favorite XZs in the entire game, as every time your opponent breathes, they're going to take 500 points of damage, which is absolutely crazy. This card is so powerful in this build, it cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has Exia materials, and also when this card has Exia materials, each time your opponent activates a card effect, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent, which is insane in a deck that all the monsters in the main deck can actually attack your opponent directly. It's just really good overall in the build. Plus, if you got them, you got to play 1 of each rarity, which is absolutely amazing. We then play 2 copies of Big Eye. Big Eye is really good as a 2-of in the build just to take control of your opponent's monsters, because you can actually hand your opponent a copy of Lava Golem, make this card, and then take control of that copy of Lava Golem, which is really, really good. We then play a single copy of Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. This card is really good as a 1-of in the build to help you pop cards on the field. Plus, with this card, it cannot attack for the rest of the turn after you activate its effect. So you can actually summon this card out to your side of the field, swing with it, and then use its ability to be able to basically pop cards on the field, which is really, really good. We then play 2 copies of Typhon. Typhon is just really good overall in the deck to be able to summon out to your side of the field, especially in a deck like this that usually wants to go second. And this card is really good overall in the build to be able to summon out to your side of the field because it's so easy to make. It's a walking skill drain for anything with 3,000 or higher attack points, and it helps you bounce cards off the field. We then played 2 copies of Zeus. Zeus is really good overall in the build as well because this card just is a board wipe. You do have to watch out a little bit for Zeus in the deck because you usually have to watch out for if you have your copy of your Toon Kingdom already on your side of the field, but it's just an option to help you board wipe the field just in case you need it. We then played 2 copies of Cyber/Harpy Lady. This card is a really good option to be able to make. We only do play 2 copies of the Toon Harpy Lady in the deck, but this card can actually be synchro summoned, treating any Harpy monster you control as a tuner, which is really cool to help you summon out this card to your side of the field as an additional boss monster to be able to summon out to your side of the field using 2 of your copies of Toon Harpy Lady. We then played 2 copies of Donner. Donner is really good to be able to play in the deck just to help you pop cards on the field. It adds a card on the field, which is really, really nice. And then finally, since it is Toons, we do have to play a single copy of Relinquished Anima. Relinquished Anima is pretty easy to summon out to your side of the field by using your copy of the Black Stone of Legend. You can summon out to your side of the field, summon out this card to your side of the field, and then basically gobble up an opponent's monster, which is really cool. So, that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Toons before, you should definitely give this deck a try, and definitely comment down below which monster you would actually like to see turned into a Toon next. It's really exciting to always see new Toon monsters, and it's such a fun deck to be able to play. I would actually like to see Gaia the Fierce Knight turned into a Toon, but definitely comment down below which monster you would actually like to see turned into a Toon monster. So, that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad. And we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.